Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Fusion TV. Today it's all about the new Civic Type R. You wait ages and ages for a new Honda Civic Type R, and well, two arrive almost back to back. Yes, scarcely a year after the Caravanserai Civic, Honda has just unveiled a concept version of the next-gen car, due to go on sale worldwide in 2017. And once again, it wants a Nürburgring lap record. Officially called the Type R prototype, the car you're gawping at is strictly a concept for now, though doesn't it look production ready, so there's nothing in the way of technical data. But we do know it will stay front-wheel drive, both to stick with Type R tradition and to allow Honda to get its FWD Nordschleife honors back from VW, who nicked them with the Golf GTI Club Sport S. And this Civic really is worldwide. No Civic Type R has ever been officially sold in the USA. It's been a case of import your own at great expense with much tedious paperwork. But because the new Civic hatchback is a global car aimed at Japan, Europe and indeed the USA, the angry-looking Type R will also land stateside. It will still be built in Swindon, though. Having recently gone to the trouble of building a 306 bhp 2.0-liter turbo-tech power plant, the new Type R will use that engine. Though we suspect it will be a little uprated to keep pace with the likes of the 345 bhp Ford Focus RS and to give it an edge over the Golf and perhaps other rivals for that lap time. Beneath the skin, it's based on the all-new MK10 Civic platform, and the Type R is set to borrow the same variable steering system and refreshed rear suspension setup. Honda has designed the standard Civic to be more fun than ever to drive, and engineers say it's been a great springboard for making a bona fide performance version. We're promised a sharper chassis than ever. You've probably noticed the looks, however. The design is all in the pursuit of performance, the Type R's designer said Daisuke Tsutomori. All of the design features have a function, and this is as close to a production car as is possible. So the rear wing is shaped entirely by function, while the triple exhaust pipes and each and every vent serve a purpose. The drag coefficient is improved significantly, though we've not been given an exact number, and the Civic Type R is lower and wider than before. Tsutomori didn't design the outgoing Type R, but does believe hot hatches should look wild and that there should be continuity between the two models. The body kit is largely very similar, though this time it's fitted to a car that's been designed to get the Type R treatment from the outset. We're not sure it wears it better as a result. Aesthetically, there's quite a strong Subaru Impreza vibe going on here, and like that car, there could be a four-door Type R, albeit not for the European market. Honda's unwrapping the production version of this car in 2017, and we'd expect it to differ little from this. Wondering why it's here so soon? Simply because Honda only pushed the button on Type R production very late in the outgoing Civic's life. Now there's a new version. The hot hatch iteration arrives almost from the outset. Few of the features that the new Type R has. The aerodynamic package on the Type R goes far beyond what you'd usually find on a hot hatchback. At the front, there's a chunky splitter which, along with the side skirts, is designed to reduce lift and manage airflow. The front bumper has a very specific shape which reduces turbulence around the front wheels, helping high-speed stability. Stick your head under the car, and you'll see a flat underbody. This aids airflow to the rear diffuser and effectively sucks the car to the road. While we're on the subject of the rear, there is of course the big wing on the boot lid which you can't miss. This provides downforce to keep rear grip levels high. Yep, contrary to popular belief, a rear wing is still of use on a front-wheel drive car. It has Plush adaptive dampers. Once the preserve of very exotic motors, adaptive dampers have filtered down to this much more affordable end of the market. As such, it's no surprise Plush dampers make their way onto the new Type R, fitted as standard. The adaptive dampers use sensors which take readings every 1/500th of a second, adjusting the firmness of the dampers independently by altering the current to electromagnetic coils to change oil flow. It's also possible to stiffen the dampers by 30% by punching the plus R button. This means the standard mode can be a little more comfortable, giving a ride that's not quite as spine-shattering as the old FN2 Civic Type R3. The rear suspension is so stiff, an anti-roll bar isn't needed. At the rear of the Type R you'll find a torsion beam suspension setup, but don't panic about it not being fully independent. First off, just look at the Renault Sport Megane. It's the sharpest handling car in class, just pipping the Honda by virtue of better driver feedback. And second, it isn't an ordinary torsion beam on the back of the Civic. The H-shaped torsion beam member is made from crushed pipes rather than a solid block, improving rear roll rigidity by 177%. Because of this, the designers decided the car didn't need a rear anti-roll bar, so there isn't one, which means less weight. The dual-axis strut front suspension kills torque steer, 306 bhp, and 295 pounds-feet is a ludicrous amount of power to expect the two front wheels of a car to handle, so there are countermeasures at play. There's a helical limited slip differential and a system called Agile Handling Assist which brakes the inside wheels during cornering to tighten your line. However, what interests us most is the dual-axis strut. If you've read anything about Ford's Revo knuckle setup, you'll get a sense of déjà vu, as dual-axis strut uses a similar design. Whereas conventional McPherson strut designs feature a steering knuckle integrated with the strut, dual-axis separates the two. This separates out the steering and suspension forces and aids geometry by allowing for a smaller wheel center offset. The result? A 55% reduction in torque steer. The system is also supposed to increase steering field, although in practice the Type R's steering isn't the best in terms of feedback. It has backwards VTEC. It's quite common for high-performance turbocharged cars to feature either two single scroll blowers or single twin scroll unit. Either of these options help counter turbo lag, but the Honda has neither. It uses a single, mono-scroll turbo. Instead, the new Type R's 2.0-liter unit uses VTEC to combat lag. 6-dot cooling. It has clever ways of staying cool with a fairly big turbo engine stuffed transversely into what's a not particularly large engine bay. Cooling was an understandably important consideration for Honda's engineers. In addition to obvious solutions like a larger air-to-air intercooler and bigger vents at the front, there are also vents behind the front wheels to let hot air escape. Air is channeled into the grills at the front through the engine bay and out of the wheel vents. Thanks for watching, guys. Do support us by sharing and subscribing.